in the third quarter. George Kittle with one of the best catches, and Trayvon Diggs with one of the biggest misses you'll ever see. Kittle post-game, I was just trying to be dramatic. It was just for TV, trying to get the ratings up. Love it. As a fellow TV person, drive those ratings. That's why I put it in the show. Wonderful. Second quarter, Wolves Rockets. My guys going at it. And I hate this. Oh, no.
Oh!
It wasn't great.
Shingun, isn't that Shingun he's booming on?
Yes, it is. More on this game later, and spoiler alert, it's going to continue to get bad for Shingun. Weird. Final seconds of overtime, Tulane and Tulsa. Tulsa comes up with the steal here, but my man starts celebrating before the whistle gets called for a travel. Tulane gets another shot at it, but it's okay. They miss, and Tulsa get their fifth win. It's just, learning with disaster. That's why it's
I thought they lost the game because of it.
That's why it's a,
You reached for that one.
Yeah, I didn't reach. It's an interesting segment. Wonderful. Back to Wolves Rockets. Oh, no. Not again, Anthony Edwards. Oh, my goodness. Once was plenty.
You know what, though? Shingun got hurt.
No.
A lot of guys don't want to be in the post. He got hurt.
I guess so.
He doesn't mind being in the poster.
Rockets are
Without a
make a
brain.
play.
Scarecrow?
Look at his
You
face
got a
after
heart
this.
but no brain?
Weird. Sacramento, Philadelphia. That goes in. I always like that. You don't like that? I would have taken that out in a second. Davion Mitchell. Okay, wonderful. Syracuse, Georgia Tech. Look at this dunk from Smith here. Did you stay up for this game, Nick?
It was on in the midday.
Well, wasn't enough, though. Only worth 2 points. Orange win. They're now 13-7. And finally, the weird.
Syracuse turning it around now.
Not bad. Lakers, Trailblazers.
I can't stand this guy.
He got you the win.
Stand this
He
guy.
got you the win.
He
Look at the
did
game.
nothing.
He's an integral part of your team.
The reason they were down
Admit it.
by 20 was because he made them mad.
No,
He's
daytime. Look.
so pretending the watch don't
He
work.
takes the watch off and
I
he puts
thought
it
you
in his
didn't
pants.
like pantomiming.
I don't, but I make exceptions for Patrick Beverly.
Okay.
And that's the Weird and Wonderful from the National Pastime. Believe it or not, Weird and Wonderful is over. This is just a standard play. Zeke at center. I don't know who drew this play up. Perhaps it was Greg's former coach, Mike McCarthy. Here he is on the game-saving plan. Take a listen.
Well, I mean, it didn't really it didn't get going. So, yeah, I really don't want to get into detail of it, but that's obviously wasn't the plan, you know. So, yeah, I mean, it's obviously a gadget player or whatever. It's a last play situation call that we practice. So.
The best part was,
That's your guy, Greg.
you know why he doesn't want to get into it? Because since it didn't get going, they can keep that in their back pocket.
Yeah, you don't
break
want
it
to give
out
that
again.
away.
You don't want to
Zeke's
give
back
that
at
away.
center. He's got to do a better job blocking.
What are we doing?
What do you mean? Who's
What are we doing? Are we
Him or
really
us?
talking about this last play? What are we doing?
What do you mean?
What
What do you mean? Last year they ran a quarterback sneak, and this year they made it worse. What do you mean? Greg, it's bad.
the reason it's bad is because they're in this situation in the first place.
Well, that had to do with the coach,
I
too.
understand. I'm going to defend Mike in this situation because every team has a couple plays, but everybody lines up in this Hail Mary formation and wants to try to get the ball downfield, or you line up and you just throw the ball to a guy and you start lateraling it. Well, what they were trying to do was to get and cause confusion on the defensive side. They did that. The problem
That's true.
the
They didn't
problem
look
that
bad for fans.
the problem that they didn't expect, and that this is where I feel like, okay, coaching has to prevail. If you draw up a play like that and the opposing team counters and
Calls timeout,
timeout,
then you can't run it back.
you have to make an adjustment.
No, you don't say.
Or you got to make sure you get the playoff, period. Like, I thought the 49ers did an unbelievable job of not sitting back, not waiting, not doing what everybody does against Tom Brady and just let them throw the ball and then get things started. No, they played up. They were like, no, we're going to hit Zeke and treat him like he's not actually in line.
Really a running moment.
It didn't exactly take brilliance by D'Amico Ryan to be like, Usually they have 5 professional
How many do they have
blockers
now?
protecting the quarterback.
One.
It's one, and
Running
it's a
back.
running back. So here's the idea. I know we haven't practiced this, but what if we just boom him into the center of the earth?
Like it.
And then go from there.
Love it. I love that Dak's like, oh no, it's breaking down.
Come on, man.
Here's where, look, I'm going to agree with Greg on this.
What?
It's not the play.
Thank you.
If they had executed it to perfection, it wouldn't have mattered. Those plays don't work. It was a Hail Mary.
It literally wasn't.
No,
it literally wasn't.
Any play at the end of the game like that is a Hail Mary. My point is this, though. Greg, here's where I blame McCarthy. What led up to this play? Why were you in this situation? Letting the clock, what they let, 30 seconds off the clock before a punt. Dalton Schultz, and I get it if you want to say, well, the coach has to tell the player, or it's not on the coach for the player to know to put 2 feet down. That's true. But going backwards where he thought he was going out of bounds and didn't get the
Every
clock to stop.
receiver knows that.
Okay,
every receiver that's going to catch the ball in that situation knows
but
that.
here's the thing. I think you would admit this with Mike McCarthy. There's a lack of attention to detail. We saw it last year in the last game of the playoffs for Dallas and this year. And Greg, in these world-class games where this much separates the winner and the loser, that lack of attention to detail kills the Cowboys.
So why don't we do it to Bill Belichick when his special teams just went
Because
awry?
he's got a 20-year track record.
I don't care about the track record.
Okay.
He has a Super Bowl, and we don't respect.
But what about the
Belichick had
punt
6
on
times
4th
as
and
many.
5 on the 40? Come on. It wasn't good. If we went into the game, it was like, I'm a little worried about clock management, end of game situation, and being too conservative. Check. It almost like he is who we thought he was. Like that does happen, Wilds.
Also, Zeke's got to get lower on him. He's got to get low, Greg. He's got to.
Obviously, a lot of guys get blamed, but the lion's share has to go to Dak. The lion's share has to go to Dak. And this was a game in which only 2 touchdowns were scored. When you throw 2 picks in that type of game, and one of them, at your own 21-yard line or whatever it was?
Inside the other 20.
Right. The 2 picks led to 6 points. Again, in this type of game, 19-12, that is huge. And so, look, the defense for Dallas was good. I mean, we know San Francisco's been the highest scoring team in the league since Brock Purdy's been starting. So the defense was good. Trayvon Diggs dropped that interception, which is huge, right? Again, in a game like this, every play matters. It was a tie ball game, Nick, at the end of the 3rd quarter when he dropped that. So that was huge. But Dak, at the end of the day, I mean, the defense did its job. You're the highest scoring offense in the league, or one of them. And for the 2nd straight year, you can only muster 1 touchdown against this team. And it's really what I said was going to happen Friday. San Francisco stopped the run. And then, especially when Pollard gets hurt. And then it was on Dak to deliver. And he is not that guy that's going to put you on his back, and deliver you. And I said about 2.5 months ago when Cooper Rush was quarterbacking, I said this defense is so good that if Dak is who he's supposed to be, if he's the $40 million man he's supposed to be, they'll at least get Nick to the NFC title.
Can I whisper a question?
It didn't happen.